Good morning, everyone. It's Sal Stretford Post. How you all doing? And welcome to another episode of Breaking Dawn. I hope everyone is doing good. Everyone's having a fabulous morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. Thank you so much for joining me this morning, guys. You absolute superstars. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you are new. And please don't forget to smash a like on the video if you guys can do that. It would be absolutely fantastic. It will help the video grow. It will help the channel grow. And the more, the merrier, to be honest. Thank you so much for joining me. Now, let's dive straight into the news, shall we? Look, you know what? Given Man United's situation, Man United are going to be very slow at doing deals. And this is going to be an issue going forward because there are a number of players out there in Europe that are, you know what, relatively cheap. Some are free. And unless Manchester United act quickly with these players, we're going to miss out on many players. For example, Quenda. We missed out on Quenda. We didn't have the cash for Quenda. We missed out on Quenda. And whatever people think about that, he would have fitted Ruben Amorim's system perfectly. But, you know, we have to start acting quickly. Now, why I say this is because Jonathan David, of course, is highly linked with Manchester United, highly talented player, of course, is wanted by other clubs now. And teams are willing to strike a deal with Jonathan David for next season. And you know what? This would disappoint me because, you know, I like the player. And I think if Man United want to sign the player, they have to act quickly. There is talk about Ekitike. Of course, Ekitike, of course, is a Manchester United fan. As I said, he's been speaking on the media about Manchester United and stuff like that, which, you know, it helps because if you're a Man United fan, that is a little string to your bow, isn't it? But, you know, it is not the be all and end all because players will leave based on what they feel the football club has become or what they feel is best for their future, you know. And if we got projects for 5 years, 10 years, I don't think anyone's going to be interested in a 5-year, 10-year project. A footballer's career is very short, of course. So, you know, people want to do what's today, not what's tomorrow. Now, Man United are interested in Jonathan David. Jonathan David is a free transfer in the summer. And we look at Jonathan David's record. Of course, he has got 14 goals in 24 matches this season with 3 assists. Now, that is in, obviously, League One. That's just in League One. And in my opinion, that is not too bad. It's not too bad. And when you look at it and you think, you know, if you transfer that to the Premier League, will it be as many goals? Would you get as many goals in the Premier League as 14? You know what I mean? And you have to really look at that. He is 25 years old. And he's not no spring chicken, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, he is going to be 26 years old, of course, guys. And his contract runs out, obviously, in the summer. He is a free transfer. So the free transfers, of course, do represent, you know, what an opportunity that it's a no-lose. It's a no-lose scenario, isn't it? You know, so, I mean, obviously, he's going to want extra wages, you know, in regards to not getting a transfer fee for him. We're going to have to pay him a lot more wages in regards to that, but it should be probably around 100 to 150 grand a week. He probably won't. There is talk about Liverpool interested in Jonathan David. There is talk about him as they're going to get rid of Darwin Núñez. Darwin Núñez does look like leaving Liverpool, but Jonathan David looks like he is attracting suitors from all over Europe at the moment, especially with the free transfer thing, because teams are not anything to lose. They've got nothing to lose. The only thing I would say is that if we go in for Jonathan David, it should be a 3-year contract. Give him what he wants for 3 years. And if it doesn't work out, we got a chance to get rid of him, don't we, at the end of the day, guys? Thank you so much. Let's read some of your comments. UK Rap. Sal, I saw you interview on BN Sports about Manchester United with Sylvester. Was that you? Yes, it was UK Rap. That was me. Absolutely was me. Thank you so much for tuning in, my friend. I'm surprised you've seen it. Absolutely. Yeah, I do get around, guys. I'm quite a busy jet. I am a busy bee, to be honest with you. I do get around and stuff. So, yeah, I am doing bits and bobs here and there. Redwood Tower. Sal is a star. Thank you so much, Redwood Tower. Big up yourself. Iron Men look nice. Absolutely. Iron Men. What's the Iron Men? Iron Men. Absolutely. Good to see you, GK. Hope you're doing well. Sanjay, big up, Sanjay. Hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for joining me today. So, guys, what do you think about Jonathan David? It is a perfect signing for Manchester United, being that he is a free transfer in regards to that. But Man United need to act quickly, and it's something that we're not doing. As Jim Ratcliffe said, we want to walk to the right destination rather than sprint to the wrong destination. That, you know, that old chestnut right there. Do you know what I mean? In regards to that. And to be honest with you, He needs to hurry up. Football don't wait for anyone. Players don't wait for you. If you want to play, you got to go out and get it. Whatever you do, by hook or by crook, you have to try and strike a deal, of course, and see what happens in regards to that, guys. Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much. But you know what? That it is got up in the air. And what I would say is that I'm a mixture of emotions in regards to the transfer window. I'm a little bit excited. I'm a little bit apprehensive. I'm a little bit nervous. I'm a little bit, judging. I'll be judging. Definitely be judging. That's for sure. At the end of the day. Big up GK, big up Tybo. Good morning, brother. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, mate. Absolutely good to see you. Big up. I read that Liverpool after Frimpong, his release scores is 33 million. What can we offer? We get to sort after talent. Look, at the end of the day, it's exactly what I said yesterday. If Man United don't act quickly, we're going to lose these players. At the end of the day, Man United need a right wing back. Frimpong is the best wing back in the world, I think, in my opinion. Now, Matt, I don't know if you agree, but I think he is the best wing back at the moment in the world. And I think that if Man United miss out on Frimpong, which they probably will, because Trent Alexander-Arnold will go to Real Madrid, and who's going to replace Trent Alexander-Arnold? Frimpong. This is why Manchester United need to act quickly. If Man United really want to get this player, they're going to have to quickly. Now, the bit of the double-edged sword this is because Man United are not in Europe, and Man United don't look like if you're looking from the outside of things, and you look at Man United right now, and you think what is the likelihood of Man United getting into the Champions League? What's the percentage of Manchester United getting into the Champions League? What would you say, guys? Out of 100%, what is the percentage of Man United getting into the Champions League? How would you judge that? At the moment, if you're an outsider, a player looking in, you would say that Man United getting into the Champions League will be about 40%, right? Because the Europa League is all we have. The Europa League is all we have. It might even be lower than that, but I would say about 40% because you know what? Man United have to beat Lyon over 2 legs, maybe Athletic Bilbao after 2 legs, and then they have to win the final. 40% is quite a lot when you consider that. I mean, I don't know what you guys think about that, but you know what? I would say that this is the problem that we're going to have in regards to the likes of Jonathan David, the likes of Frimpong, is that they're going to look at us and we're not going to be an attractive proposition. When people are talking about 5-year plans, I don't think that attracts players who are in 20, 23, 24, 25. I don't think that is really attractive. I think these players want success now. And they're not willing to be sitting there. And obviously, they're going to look at the history of Man United as well. Frimpong would be a dream signing, Almac. It would be an absolutely brilliant signing for Man United because, we'll have Dorgu on the left, we'll have Frimpong on the right, and we are covered. And a big part of our tactics, Ruben Amorim's tactics, is the wing backs. And I think it'd be brilliant if we had him. Absolutely. Big up, Sanjay. Of course, Pearl, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. A lot of news on transfers. No, lots of news on transfers. There's going to be, of course, look, you know what? In the next 2 months, there's going to be a lot of news in regards to Man United. 2 months, the window opens. And that is when silly season comes in. And we're going to see a lot of these players that I'm mentioning today get linked with Manchester United at the end of the day. You know what? I was talking about Trincao last week. Who's talking about Trincao this week? All the media spoke about it last week. You know what I mean? Who remembers us speaking about Trincao last week? They're speaking about him today. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. And I already knew that because I'm ahead of the game. I'm ahead of them. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day. So there you go. Chibo, we can offer Frimpong a free meal at United. That's a rare. Absolutely, mate. Definitely. Be lucky to get a free meal, Tyborg. Do you know what I mean? They recycle tea bags at Old Trafford at the moment. They'd be lucky to get a free meal. He might get some soup and some bread. He might get something like that. Oliver Twist settings and stuff. Definitely. But I like Frimpong, and and I think that if Man United miss out on Frimpong, we're just going to fall further behind. Because look, guys, you've got to look at it like this: Liverpool are already ahead of us, right? Let's be realistic and let's be honest about this. Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, Man City, Newcastle are all ahead of us at the moment. They're ahead of us, and if the likes of Liverpool go out and sign Frimpong, and Man City make more signings, Chelsea make more signings, Liverpool, even Spurs make more signings, Man United are going to fall further and further behind. We're not going to get anywhere if we're signing the likes of Leon Delap or Chris Rigg and things like that. We have to be realistic. You know what I mean? Is that going to narrow the gap at the top? Is it going to do that? I don't think it's going to do that. And, Man United need to think about the best, right? And we need to think about who's going to fit Ruben Amorim's system perfectly, right? And it is obviously Frimpong. If it's not Frimpong, it is obviously Fernandes of Braga. I was talking about Fernandes of Braga, which is obviously, another one you can get for a lot cheaper. But again, that is the jury. The jury is out with Fernandes. Is Fernandes better than Dalot? Is he better than Dalot? We have to look at that, at the end of the day. Are we going to get an upgrade? And Man United need to push up the league, not stay where they are or go below. They need to push up the league. So no, for me, if we purchased one expensive player in the summer, Frimpong would be one of those guys. That would be brilliant. Absolutely. Big up. Yeah, Trincao, I've been speaking about a long time, my friend. I've been speaking about him a long time, and now the media are picking up with it. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, that's what they do. I think they look at my channel when they see like who we linked with. At the end of the day, But look, if Liverpool come calling, what would you do if you're a Frimpong? Frimpong's not a Man United supporter. Yeah, at the end of the day, look, what would you do if you're a Frimpong? Would you go to Liverpool? Would you go to Man United? We have to be real with ourselves. Liverpool are going to be the champions. They're going to be in the Champions League. So, you know what? It is a no-brainer. The only thing Man United can do is try and sell a project. That's all Man United can do with these players. They can try and sell a project because we're not going to throw money at them anymore. We know that's not going to happen anymore. We know that, Ineos are not on throwing money at players anymore at the end of the day. Big up SLD. What's going on, you legend? I hope you're doing well. Welcome back to Stretford Post. Hope you're good, my friend. I hope you're good. Good to see you. So that is obviously up in the air, of course, guys, and we'll have to wait and see in regards to that. Now, look, another player that has been mentioned in regards to Manchester United is Bryan Mbeumo. Bryan Mbeumo is a very, very highly talented player. And again, you know what? 18 caps for Cameroon, Brentford player. Contract expires in a year's time in 2026. Now, Bryan Mbeumo has a release clause. I believe his release clause is about 50 million euros. It is said that the likes of Arsenal and other teams in Europe are set to meet the release clause. Now, if they meet the release clause, then they will get the player, won't they? Now, if Man United sit down and do nothing about it, snooze, you lose. Just like Quenda, you snooze, you lose. You're gonna lose out on another player. And then as the summer goes on, as we get closer to the summer transfer window, slowly but surely, the pool of talent gets less and less and less, and we're going to be having to go into for the leftovers, the players that nobody wants, or we're going to have to scout pretty good. Now, I'm all for scouting. I'm all for that. But I'm not seeing enough effort from Ineos at the moment in regards to scouting. I'm not seeing enough South American players linked, for example, stuff like that. Players that you can get for knockdown prices, etc. Now, I'm not saying it won't happen. It could happen in the summer, of course. It is early days. But the players that are highly talented, for example, the standout players this season, like Mbeumo for Brentford, are players that Man United should be looking at. Frimpong, Mbeumo, these type of players that could move Man United forward. Now, I'm not saying it is the be-all and end-all. I'm not saying that we must spend ridiculous amounts of money on players. But we can't just sign young players. We can't just sign players that are not proven in the Premier League. We do have to sign one or two that have been proven in the Premier League, especially in particular on the attacking side of things, because we are very weak on the attacking side of things. And we are minus goal difference. Just like we were minus goal difference last season, we are minus goal difference again, guys. Taibo, at this moment, we can't compete with Frimpong unless he's a United fan. We can't. Liverpool, other teams to have him. We can only overpay, but it wasn't a success before either. Look, at the end of the day, Taibo, it is a double-edged sword, isn't it? If we overpay, then it sends out the wrong message, doesn't it? And Ineos have said that they're not going to overpay for any players. So what Man United need to do is what they have to try and do is try and sell a project. And if they're going to sell a project, they're going to have to act quickly. If they sit down and do nothing and wait for the summer to come, he's already agreed to join Liverpool at the end of the day. Look, if we spent a lot of money on Omar Barada, on Vivel, on Wilcox, all right? We spent a lot of money on these people. They're supposed to be very good at persuasion, the art of persuasion. They're meant to be really good at persuading people, negotiating with players, etc. So why don't they show us how good they are? Let's get Frimpong. You know what I mean? Go out and get him. Strike agreement. Just like Chelsea have done with Quenda. Go out there, strike an agreement with the club, with everything, that he's going to come to Man United next season. But we have to sell a project. And it's going to be extremely difficult because Man United are not in the Champions League as we stand. Liverpool are in the Champions League. Liverpool will be in the Champions League next season. We have to wait until we win the Europa League. So, that could be too late. When it comes to May, June, that could be too late. If we get there, do you know what I mean? If we get there, if you're feeling Frimpong's shoes, you're going to be saying, well, you know what? Liverpool guaranteed. Liverpool are more ahead. Look, in theory, guys, let me tell you something, right? Liverpool are very good this season because Slot was left with Jurgen Klopp's team. And I said that, right, a long time ago. Slot was left with Jurgen Klopp's team. Some games that Slot has lost this season, right, Klopp wouldn't have lost. Right, that is Jurgen Klopp's team. The only reason Liverpool won the league this season is because the league has been very weak. There's been no Man City. Arsenal have been inconsistent. Chelsea have been, Chelsea. Man United haven't been good. Tottenham haven't been good. That's the only reason that Liverpool won the league this season. It's not an absolute vintage season this season. It's not like 100 points, 97 points that Klopp got, didn't he? Klopp got 97 points, 98 points for Liverpool and didn't win the league. That shows you how the level has dropped slightly. Do you know what I mean? Jonathan, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. 50 minutes, no thanks. One good season under his belt. That is the key. That is the release clause. Of course, 50 million euros, which is about 39 million pounds. I believe. But I understand that, Jonathan. I understand that. But when you look at Manchester United, who are we going to get? Who's going to improve Man United in an attacking third? Who Man United going to get? If Mbeumo went to Arsenal, for example, would that strengthen them or would it weaken us? No, we have to look at that. Ahmad, the jury's out for me. Garnacho, the jury is out for me. And we have to look at our strike force. Højlund, the jury is still out as well. How long does it take before we say, well, you know what, we have to move on from those players and we have to get someone else? Look, in my opinion, I'm all for scouting. I'm all for looking at players around the world that we haven't heard of. Because just because they are well known doesn't mean they're going to be, successful. But what I would say is this. I think if Man United sign young players, they need to mix it up a little bit. They need to mix it up with players who are proven number one in the Premier League. Alex Ferguson used to do it. Berbatov, Rooney, Carrick, He used to do it with Ferdinand. He used to buy Premier League proven players. Yes, he used to buy players from around Europe as well, but he also used to buy Premier League proven players because you need Premier League proven players. At the moment, we got a mixture of players that have got Premier League proven, but they're Premier League proven to lose. They got a losing, you know what I said? It's a heritage, isn't it? When you start losing every single season, that starts to be dropped down from generation to generation, and that's something, which is dangerous. With VVD, Trent, Salah maybe leaving Liverpool, we might stand a chance of Frimpong, especially with the system we play. I hope so, SLD. But one thing Man United need to do, because obviously, Trent is leaving, so they need a wing back. They play wing backs too, SLD. Do you know what I mean, Liverpool? So they need a wing back. So if Liverpool need a wing back, he's the best wing back in Europe. And as Tyborg says, and other people said in the channel, you know what? He's going to be expensive, and we're going to have to act quickly. That's what we have to do. And we have to try and sell our project to Frimpong. Is our project going to be enticing? Is our project going to be exciting to a player like Frimpong? If we're going on about 5-year projects, 10-year projects, is that attractive to a suitor? Especially if a player's in his mid-20s, is it attractive to a player? Matt, would you pay Angel Gomez? He turned down West Ham 100k a week. He isn't the best, but he would be a good utility player place. I'm not for 100 grand a week, Matt. Absolutely not. He's not been brilliant at Lille, in France, to be honest with you. When do you ever hear about... Guys, think about this, right? Gomez played for Man United and he wasn't ready, according to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at the time. He's a free transfer. I mean, when do you ever hear about a great assist, a goal, something brilliant from Gomez? When do you ever see it online or social media? When do you ever see, look at this skill from Gomez, look at this goal from Gomez? When do you ever see it? Personally, I'll be honest. I think he's lightweight. And he's not worth 100 grand a week. 50 grand a week tops. If we get him in, it's 50 grand a week or go. At the end of the day, he's a West Ham player. That's what he is. I personally believe. And he's not going to elevate Man United. We need players who's going to elevate us. You know what I mean? That's what we need. At the end of the day, we're going to stay in ground zero if we sign players like Gomez. It's my opinion. And I know it sounds harsh, but He's just not the kind of player that Manchester United need. I think you can get better players around in South America, in countries such as that, for a lot less wages, maybe a small transfer fee, but a lot less wages, in my opinion. Tyber, the main thing is we can offer players is actually only more playing time. Some players wouldn't get as much minutes at top clubs as they would. Yeah, that's a good thing, Tyber. We can, in regards to Frimpong, with Ruben Amorim, he does like Diego Dalot a lot, doesn't he, Tyborg? He does like Diego Dalot a lot. So Diego Dalot is a strange one because Amorim loves him. And, if Frimpong comes into the football club and he's going to be on the bench, you know what I mean? And Dalot is going to be playing every week. That would be crazy, wouldn't it? I do believe there's a little bit of bias in there with Amorim. I don't know what you guys think about that. I do think there's a little bit of bias in regards to Diego Dalot. I think that, right? It's natural. I knew that would happen anyway, Portuguese influence and that. You know what I mean? But, I think that Man United need to play the players that are going to suit them, and even if that is being ruthless with one of their favourites. If Frimpong comes into the football club, Dalot goes to the bench. Dorgu plays on the left. Dalot does not play on the left. Do not play Dalot on the left. Absolutely not. Morning, Beef Bully. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. How much money can we get by selling? It depends who we sell, Beef Bully. It depends who we sell. Now, we're losing Evans, we're losing Lindelof, we're losing Eriksen for nothing. They're going to be free transfers. But what that does do, that frees up a few million on the on wages, doesn't it? So we lose them, we got a few million to save on wages, right? If we sell Anthony and Rashford, that's 80 million, roughly. Okay, so that's about 80 million. If we go and sell, the likes of, how do we say it? Onana, for example. If we sell a Dalot, for example, that's 35 million right there. We can make money. Man United, I believe, and guys, this is my prediction, right? This is my prediction. I believe Man United will spend 200 million in the summer, but that is not going to be net. That is going to be in regards to selling players and losing players as well. I believe that we're going to spend about 200 million. That's my prediction, right? I do believe some players will leave as well. I really do. Absolutely. John Atek, Mbeumo doesn't start over Saka, Martinelli. I'm not sure about Trossard. The jury is out on Trossard. I'm not sure about Trossard. Mbeumo has been better than Trossard this season, and Martinelli. Martinelli has been average this season. I do believe he's better than Martinelli this season. Right? And Trossard. Doesn't start over Saka, absolutely right. No, but I think he's been better this season than those players. Absolutely. Martinelli has not been great this season. But we have to wait and see. Chanatech, we are more likely to have Roger Fernandez and then Frimpong. Frimpong does nothing about a ball which isn't his system. He's a luxury player that suits her. He's a great player, Jonatech. We can't say that Frimpong is a bad player. Look at his statistics and stuff like that. He's a great player. I've already mentioned Roger Fernandez a long time ago, Jonatech. He's already been covered on this channel intensively, right? But he represents a risk. He plays for Braga. He's a £15 million player. Is he going to elevate Man United? Is he better than Dalot? That's what we have to ask our question. Is he better than Dalot? And we can't just say, yes, he is, because he plays in the Portuguese league for Braga, and Dalot's playing for Manchester United and has played for AC Milan and teams like that. So we have to look at things fairly. We don't look at things like Frimpong does nothing off the ball, because he's a brilliant player. Goodness me. He's won the league. He's won the Bundesliga with Leverkusen and was one of their key players. Do you know what I mean? He is a very good player, right? And under Amorim will be even more better. Yeah, I agree with that, Kenny. Absolutely. Angel Guy is a lightweight player. I agree, Kenny. Absolutely. Kenny, you're thinking like me. You're on the same page as me, brother. You're on the same page as me. You're thinking like me. I think he's a little bit lightweight, in my opinion. A little bit lightweight, if I'm being totally honest. Guys, absolutely. He's going somewhere, Jonathan. Don't worry about that. He'll be going down. 15 million, 40 million pounds is not much in this day and age. His release clause. Liverpool are showing ambition by targeting Kirkes on the left and Frimpong on the right. Their owners are willing to back the manager. Will Ineos back? And this is the question, isn't it, Almac? And this is what it all boils down to. We can talk about this player, that, till the cows come home. At the end of the day, is Ruben Amorim going to be back this summer? That is the key question. Is he going to be back this summer? Liverpool are going to be backed. Slot, I guarantee you'll be backed. I guarantee you Arsenal will be backed. Man City will be backed. Chelsea will be backed. All those players, all those teams will be backed in the summer. Is Ruben Amorim going to be backed? I love Kirkes. I think he's a great player, but we got Dorgu now and Diego Leon, so we're not going to get Kirkes. I like Frimpong. You know, I like Fernandes. I like these players, but are we going to act quickly enough to get those players, which is the key, of course. Even Stevie Wonder can see Dalot is not good enough. So, yeah, it's bias from Amorim. Absolutely, Tybor. We know Tybor, don't we? We watched the watch-alongs together. Dalot has cost Man United a lot of goals this season. Absolutely, a lot of goals. I've seen very many times. I've seen every time he's on the pitch, too short for him. But he is that quick, great defensively and attacking-wise. He's fantastic, Tybor. We're nitpicking if we start going into little details about what he's not good at and stuff like that. He won Leverkusen, the Bundesliga. He stopped the dominance of Bayern Munich. And you know what? I think he will be a great player for Manchester United. I really do. On an attacking side of things, because at the end of the day, on attacking side of things, we play a 3-4-2-1, don't we? So at the end of the day, look, you're going to see the three centre-backs splitting to cover the defensive sides of the fullbacks. So that's what happens, right? So he's going to be brilliant. And our aim is to push the opposition team back. That's our aim. That's what we want to do. And with a player like Frimpong, if he came to Man United, I think it'll be a fantastic signing for Man United. And if it doesn't work out, people who don't rate him, who this and that, can come back at me and say, well, I told you, Sal, didn't you? Didn't I? I told you, Sal, didn't I? It wasn't going to work out. I told you, Sal, didn't I? But Frimpong is a good player for me. Since Frimpong is cheap because of his release score, doesn't mean that we have to pay the 33 million as a lump sum. Do we have the cash? We do have the cash, Mac. Yeah. But the problem is that will he come to Manchester United if we're not in the Champions League? He's going to be wanted by Liverpool. He's going to be wanted by other teams in Europe as well. You know, his contract his release clause is 33 million pounds, 40 million euros. So it is nothing in the grand scheme of things, Mac. You're absolutely right. It is nothing for a player of that quality. It is nothing. But it's up to us if we qualify for the Champions League. If we don't qualify for the Champions League, it's going to be a difficult buy, isn't it? It's going to be a difficult buy because other teams are going to offer 33 million for Frimpong. Now, look, you know what? If we don't go sign Frimpong, you know what? He's not the only player out there. As we've been talking about and we've spoken about many times, Roger Fernandes, a player of that, Wesley as well. We've been talking about in Brazil. We've got a number of players that we've been talking about, you know, as a right wing back. There are options around the world. There is, you know, but obviously we're looking at players that are proven in the major league and stuff like that as well. But I have no problem if we lose out on Frimpong, if we go out and buy Roger Fernandes, or we go out and buy a Wesley, or we go and buy someone like that of that nature. Do you know what I mean? But I would say that represents a risk. That represents a risk, and it doesn't guarantee that they're going to play well. What I do know is that our scouting is a lot better than it used to be. I mean, obviously we signed Dorgu, which is a very good signing. So our scouting is better than it used to be, in my opinion. And I think that if we can get our scouting in order, we can find bargains out there around the world. Not just in South America. You can look in Japan, you can look in Asia, you can look in Africa, you can look everywhere in the world, and you'll find great players that are willing to put a shift in, of course, guys. I'm really looking forward to Diego Leon. Looking forward to seeing Diego Leon play for Man United. He is an absolute beast. In regards to his development, we do have Harry Amas as well. Harry Amas, of course, made his debut, and I think that it's going to be very interesting come the summer. If Luke Shaw is not fit come January, look, guys, in my opinion, I don't think Luke Shaw should be playing for Man United anymore. I think he's had his chance. I don't think he should. I think in the summer, Man United should move on Luke Shaw, because what Luke Shaw is doing, right? And I mean, I might be wrong, guys. I might be wrong. But what Luke Shaw is doing, he's looking at the likes of Amas. He's looking at the likes of Diego Leon. He's looking at the likes of Dorgu. And he's thinking, oh, no, I better get myself fit. I better get myself fit for the next season, because I'm going to lose my place. We shouldn't fall for that anymore. Enough is enough with Luke Shaw. We know the games. We know the games he's playing, of course. Ahmad, do you think we can get 30 million for Dalot that would be paid for? Absolutely, Ahmad. I think we can. I think we can get 30 million for Dalot. I mean, there was the rumours about Bayern Munich. There was the rumours about Real Madrid. Whether that's true or not, I mean, that is up in the air. I've not heard anything solid. That could be rumours spread from his agent. And what the agent does, an agent will plant seeds in the media. Like I've always said, will plant seeds in the media. So people look at Dalot and say, well, Real Madrid and Bayern Munich want Dalot. He must be good, and Man United panic, and Man United offer Dalot a new contract. That is the key. That's what they're doing. But if we were going to sell Dalot, it'd be 25 to 35 million in between there. And that is the right price for him in regards to that, because they're getting a decent player. To be honest with you, they're getting a decent player. Hasn't been brilliant this season, in my opinion, for Man United. But under Erik ten Hag, I felt he was really good. I thought he's been really good for Man United last season. He was one of our players of the season, wasn't he? But you know what? I would sell him. I really would. But I don't think we're going to sell Dalot. I really don't. I think Ruben Amorim is a big fan of Diego Dalot, just like Ruben Amorim is a big fan of Bruno as well. It's that Portuguese thing, in my opinion. And you can sugarcoat that all you want, but that is what it is. It's just like when Alex Ferguson used to play Darren Fletcher all the time. No, Darren Fletcher ended up becoming a great player for Man United. But we all know when Darren Fletcher came through the youth system, Alex Ferguson pushed him because he was Scottish. Just like he pushed his own son to play for Manchester United, of course, guys, at the end of the day. And Roy Keane mentioned that, didn't he? He did do that. Just like he pushed Brian McClare. Now, these players went on to be good pros, apart from maybe Darren Ferguson, of course. He probably didn't become the player that he wanted, but he was Alex Ferguson's son. And you know what? He was pushed. And that is what happened, and it's a bit like what's going on now with Ruben Amorim and Dalot, in my opinion. Kenny, I'd sell Dalot to Bayern Munich, to be honest. I would love to sell him, Kenny. I would. If Bayern Munich come out with a 30 million offer, Kenny, snap their hands off, cut it off, snap their hands off, take the money. I would say take the money. That's what I would say at the end of the day. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Now, look, guys, at the beginning of the show, I was talking about Jonathan David. Jonathan David is a free transfer. That is the most likely thing to happen for Man United, is Jonathan David, right? Because he is a free transfer. 14 goals in 23 appearances this season, not too bad, plus the goals he scored in the Cups. He is a decent player to bring on. He's an experienced player. We've been talking about Jonathan David way before he was going to be a free transfer. We all remember, don't we? So I wouldn't be surprised if Man United go for that. But again, Man United have to act quickly. Look, you know what now, guys? You know what? Nottingham Forest are now interested in certain players. Nottingham Forest are interested in Mbeumo. You know what I mean? Nottingham Forest are in the Champions League. Do you know what I mean? So we're going to have to look out for Nottingham Forest as well. Newcastle in Europe next season. Not in the Champions League, but they're going to be in Europe next season. So we have to win this Europa League, guys. We have to win the Europa. There's no way about it. This is the be-all and end-all for Man United, because this isn't just about this season. This is about the coming seasons, At the end of the day, if we're in the Champions League next season, we are ahead by a year. We push it forward by a year. We push our fortunes forward by a year, because we will be able to attract certain players. Certain players will come to Man United because of its prestige. And if Man United are in Champions League, there's nothing but, I'm going to Man United. I'm not going to Newcastle. I'm not going to Nottingham Forest. I'm not going to Villa. I'm going to Manchester United. Absolutely. SLD, if Madrid want Dalot, we should make them overpay like they did with Casemiro. The thing is, absolutely true, SLD. Absolutely true. But Real Madrid are not stupid like we have been. They're not. We will pay the money. Real Madrid won't. They'll just go out and get some Brazilian, the next big thing in Brazil, right? They'll just go out and do that. Man United won't. Man United will say, well, we're not going to be held to ransom. We're not going to pay the money. We're not going to pay the money. We're not going to pay the money. And then when the transfer window, when it's about to close the transfer window, they buy the player for the money they asked for in the first place. And that's what we've done, under Murto, under Woodward and stuff like that. Hopefully we don't do that anymore. What Real Madrid do is that if we try to overprice certain players, they just turn away and say no. They won't be they won't do what Man United do. They've been very well run over the last few years, of course. Where are they getting the money from? Do they have the wealthy owners? They're well run. They're a well-run club, Almac. And to be honest with you, once they get in the Champions League, that's 80 million for them, brother. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, that's 80 million for Nottingham Forest. The Champions League is key. At the end of the day, and if we get in the Champions League this season, that's 80 million for us. If we win the Europa League, that's 30 million for us. So altogether, you're getting around 120, 130 million just for the Europa League win and the Champions League qualification. There's money to be made. And obviously, Ineos will say, no, there's no money to be made. We got to pay for this. We got to pay for that. Of course they would be at the end of the day. Of course they would be. At the end of the day. So because they want to save money. Ineos, they're not the spending money type. They hate spending money. Jim Ratcliffe comes across. Look at the way Jim Ratcliffe dresses, for good's sake. Look at the way he dresses. You know, he looks like a tramp half the time. You know what I mean? So yeah, look, you know what? At the end of the day, you know, Nottingham Forest. I mean, as they have, you know what, they have been a bit reckless with their spending. They have signed a lot of players here and there, but they've done well. They obviously, you know, they bought some players to Nottingham Forest that have done very, very well. Of course, guys, absolutely. And obviously they're owned by, I think it's the Greek guy, of course. Evaginos Marinakis, Marinakis is their ownership, and Socrates Kamenikas, that is their ownership. So they are the city owners, of course, and I would trust them more than I trust Ineos, to be honest with you. At the end of the day, I definitely will do that. I would trust them more than I trust Ineos, because I mean, I don't trust Ineos the way things are going, the small lies that have been told. Of course, I don't want to forget the 99 questions that were asked a couple of days ago. That was sent out to Ineos Jim Ratcliffe. The 99 questions. We need to remember those 99 questions, and we need to understand this, right, is that they have to answer those 99 questions. They have to answer. I want to see answers, because I know that this will be brushed under the carpet. I know it will be brushed under the carpet, and they would ignore it. And then other fans will ignore it, and then the fans will forget about it. And then that's what happens, doesn't it, at the end of the day? Big up, Baz. What's going on, my friend? I'll be doing well. We have a reputation to break in the transfer window. No more Man United tax. I hope not, Baz. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, we're not going to be held to ransom. We're going to afford it. You know, at the end of the day, what I would say is that, yes, we don't go all summer chasing players. And as I said, I don't deal with absolutes. I don't absolutely go in on Ineos and say Ineos have done crap from the start, because they haven't. I felt that they had a decent transfer window in the summer. I felt it was okay. Reason I liked it is because we went after Gareth Branthwaite. When Gareth Branthwaite was overpriced, we got Euro. So we didn't spend all summer chasing Gareth Branthwaite and then end up overpaying for him. We got Euro. And I think that was good. That was refreshing to see, because we got the transfers done earlier than usual. You know, it wasn't ideal, some parts, but we got it done earlier than usual. Sacking Erik ten Hag, all right, keeping Erik ten Hag was a mistake. But at the end of the day, hindsight is a beautiful thing. But at the end of the day, they got Ruben Amorim in quickly. I praised that. And I thought that was very good. Now, let's see what happens in the summer. This is the key summer for Ineos. This is where we see what they're all about. This is where we know if they want to back Ruben Amorim or not. Do they want to be successful on the pitch, or do they not? And that is what we're going to see this summer. Very important summer. Probably one of the most important summers in our history. But they have ambitious. Yeah, Kenny, I think most teams have more ambitious owners than us at the moment, if we're being totally honest. I absolutely feel that. Absolutely. Jonah Tech. Marinakis, son of Greek politician, had a few legs up and acquire his money now, just loans money at the forecast, converts it to shares. So why had the debt? So he's not that good then, is he, Jonah Tech? There you go. Thank you, Jonah Tech. But you know what? Not the Forest are not doing badly, is it? The EPL seems to be getting more competitive. There are mid-table teams that have decided to push for top four. Forest, Villa, and Brighton have been. You know. At the end of the day, I would say the reason that is because the pool of talent is gone down, and there's no special players these days. Back in the day, there were special players. I don't think there's many special players these days. I think that when you look at special players, they're very few and far between. And I feel like that is why teams are catching up. And added to the fact that most teams now have a similar amount of money. And you know what? It ain't just the Man Uniteds and the Chelseas and the Man Cities who have money now. Other teams have money, and other teams have run very well. The Premier League is a great league, of course, to make money. And the only credit I give to Ineos was appointing Omar Barada. That was a good one, Kenny. That was a good one. I mean, I give credit. You've got to give credit for the summer. I thought they did okay, right? I thought De Ligt was a good signing. Ugarte was a good signing as well. Xerxes looking like a decent signing now, you could argue, That wasn't bad. And Euro is a good signing as well. Look, you know what? At the end of the day, that wasn't bad, was it? As a summer, it wasn't bad. As a first summer, right? But now this is where we push on. This is where it all matters now. We haven't had a good season this season. We're sitting 14th in the league, isn't it? 13th in the league. We're sitting. So we need to move up that table. and we need to win the Europa League. So it has been a bad season. So now it's been a bad season. Now it's up to Ineos to prove to us that they want success for Manchester United. They got to prove to us that they can get rid of the likes of Anthony. They can get rid of the likes of Rashford. They can get rid of the likes of Shaw. They can get rid of Casemiro. They can get rid of Maguire. They can get rid of Onana. They can get rid of all these players. Dalot, you know what I mean? And say that these players are not good enough. How ruthless are they going to be? How ruthless are these owners going to be? And that is what we have to say, of course. One thing we can do is get a few cheap loan deals. Sal, any ideas here? Loan deals. I think Man United are not going to deal with loan deals this summer. Generally, I don't think loan deals do very well. But I think Man United are looking more at free transfers and cheap players rather than loan deals. I don't think Man United are going to... I'm not hearing that Man United are going to do any loan deals at the moment. If Man United were going to do a loan deal, Beef Bully, what I would say is that Man United try and do a loan deal with Real Madrid for Arda Güler. Maybe Arda Güler could be a loan deal. Arda Güler can't get in the Real Madrid team at the moment. Maybe it'd be great if Arda Güler comes on loan at Man United next season. How about that? You know what I mean? At the end of the day, how about that? Pay off some of his wages, get him on loan. Because obviously Real Madrid have slapped an 80 million price tag on Arda Güler. So maybe get him on loan. Yeah, maybe that, of course. That is a good idea. Loans won't get announced till next season. Yeah. Amak, there is talk of the papers that Qatar investors are buying Spurs. Is that true? That could be. Yeah, Amak. I heard before Ineos took over, I heard that Qatar will be looking for another Premier League club. Now, when you think about Premier League clubs, when you think about underachievers, there's no better team than Spurs when you think of underachievers. They are the serial underachievers. Now, what better way to grab a team like Spurs, who have the stadium done already, they have the infrastructure there already, invest in Spurs, build Spurs up, and make Spurs a force to be reckoned with. They could do that. And what would it do for us? We'll be there. Oh, well. We can't run to the wrong destination. We have to walk to the right destination while Spurs are winning everything. You know? At the end of the day, Spurs get taken. Spurs are the one team that could get taken over by Qatar. They could do, you know. And if they do get taken over by Qatar, you bet your bottom dollar that we're going to fall further behind. So we really got to hurry up. You know what I mean? And we really got to work out. We got the worst owners we could possibly have. I don't know why people are so infatuated by, you know, people who don't like spending money. I mean, at the end of the day, they don't like spending money, Ineos, you know, and I don't know why the people were so infatuated by these crumbling old dinosaurs, you know, who coming into, I don't know, just because they're mank, born and bred, you know what I mean, at the end of the day. And, you know, if Qatar take over Spurs, it's on us, isn't it? It's on us. It's on part of that fan base out there. You know what I mean? If Spurs go on to go and challenge for Champions League football, it's on us. We have ourselves to blame, don't we? Because if Qatar take charge of Tottenham, I bet you, they have a point to prove, guys. But in it they couldn't. I don't even know if Sheikh Jassim assisted. I don't even know if Sheikh Jassim assisted. That's what. Yeah. Let's see if Sheikh Jassim really exists, shall we? When they go and buy Spurs and Spurs absolutely muller us, yeah, in the transfer market, right? And then they're going to see, isn't it? At the end of the day. Tybo, this summer is a make or break for Ineos. Absolutely. I personally am prepared to give them another chance to prove themselves. Me too, bruv. But they have to spend big if they want to win me over. This summer is very important. It's literally, Tybo, absolutely. Literally, it is imperative. It's important. It is make or break for Manchester United, guys. This is make or break for Manchester United. This transfer window is make or break for Manchester United, you know, because this season hasn't been the best season, right? And it is up to Ineos to show us that they actually mean business now. You know what I mean? And show us that they actually want success on the pitch and not just in a business sense. Yeah, business is important, but so is the most important thing is success on the football pitch. At the end of the day, success on the football pitch is what we care about the most as a fan base. Now, we will see this in the summer if they go out there. Look, guys, if they go out there and they buy Frimpong and, you know, these type of players, then we're going to go, well, they really are back in the Ruben Amorim, isn't it? You know, but if they go out there and we'd be waiting until the end of August and think, ooh, we signed some young player from Metz you know what I mean? Then we're going to be like, oh my goodness me, this is going to be dodgy. This is going to be bad. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, you know, and we'll have to wait and see. But top comment, my friend. It's about absolutely spending the money correctly on the right player. Spending big has done nothing for us the last 13 years. Yeah, it goes without saying, Jonathan, but it doesn't mean that you buy 11, 16-year-olds. You know what I mean? You have to buy players that are Premier League proven. For example, I'll give you an example, Alex Ferguson. He spent money, but he spent it on the right player. Michael Carrick, Rio Ferdinand, Wayne Rooney. You know what I mean? These type of players who were Premier League proven. Do you know what I mean? Premier League proven players. He spent money. You have to spend big on the right player. And how do we spend big on the right player? You have to do your research. You know what I mean? As well. Not just talent, not just how many goals and how many assists. Stats are overrated, right? You have to look at what he does for a living in regards to his private life. Is he married? What does he eat? What's his diet like? Alex Ferguson used to do that. We have to get to know players. And whether that's a £50 million player or a £10 million player, that is what we have to do at the end of the day. It goes without saying that we have to spend big on doesn't matter if we spend big or small. It has to be the right player. It has to be a player that is going to elevate Man United. It has to be a player that is going to benefit Man United on the football pitch. That's what it has to be. Absolutely, Tybo. Absolutely. But what we have to do, right? We have to trust we have a group of individuals there. We have Omar Barada, we have Vivell, we have obviously Wilcox there who are going to do the business. So, you know what? Let's see what they do. Let's see if they find good players. So far, they got Dorgu. Great signing for me. Fantastic. Good player. Well played. They've done that. Announced on Stretford Post. Of course, well done. Absolutely. I mean, I was speaking about him a long time ago, but yeah, good signing. You know, now let's see what we do after that. Let's see what we can do after that. You know what I mean? Let's see what we do this season. That might have been a one-off. That might have been just one player that done well. You know, let's see if we can get a few more good players. Aiden Heaven, good signing. 1 million from Arsenal. So far, so good. Hopefully his injury isn't too bad. Obviously, I heard that he's on the pitch now, so he could be back. That's another one. Beef, Sal, little question. How many World Cup players do we have? Or what's your definition of world class? If we said World Cup, world class players do we have? How many world class players do we have? My definition of world class is a player that can do it consistently in any team, in any system. That's my definition of world class. A player who can make a difference when the game is going badly, who can make a difference, almost every game. How many world class players do we have? I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm going to be honest. I don't think Man United have many world-class players. At the moment, I think Man United have very good players. Very good players. I believe that De Ligt has the potential to be a world-class defender. I do. I believe that Dorgu has the potential to be a world-class fullback, wing-back. I believe that Ugarte has the potential to be a world-class central midfielder. Right? I believe that Bruno is a very, very good player, but I don't think he's a world-class player. I think he is a player that can do it, the likes of Leicester, that can do it against Real Sociedad, that can do it against these teams, but when the going gets tough, he does go missing sometimes. And that is when you define world-class from very, very good. Is what the player that can do it week in, week out, and steer a team forward. For example, there were periods when David De Gea was a world-class goalkeeper. There were periods when David De Gea would get us points by his saves, right? But then he drifted away and he became a good goalkeeper. You know what I mean? You know, and you can get world-class moments from players. You get world-class moments from Bruno. You get world-class moments from Ugarte. You get world-class moments from De Ligt. Now, it's very easy to talk about attacking players. I personally believe that De Ligt is the closest one to world-class in our team right now. Because he's a defender. He's not an attacker. He's a defender. You know, and I think they've got pushed under the carpet. I really do believe that. You know, and I think that there's a lot of potential. I think Euro has the potential to be world-class in the future. Mazraoui has the potential to be world-class in the future. There's many, but they have to prove it. And for me to say that any one of these players is world-class, I would be becoming delusional because we're 13th. You know, and I would say we've got potential world-class players. And the only way we become world-class players is if we start winning world-class trophies, you know, and that's what I would say. And yeah, that's what I would say. Absolute still, Jonathan. And absolutely. And this is what I'm telling. I did say that. Yeah. At the end of the day, this is what it's all about. It was an absolute steal, and this is what we need to learn. It doesn't matter about what their price is. What matters is if they're right for Man United. Are they going to steer Man United to a league? Now, I don't care if we sign a player for 20 grand from Exeter City, right? If this guy is going to take Man United forward, you know what I mean? I'm all for it. I trust them. Great. You know what I mean? I trust Ruben Amorim. I trust his decision making. Great. I'm not interested in shiny new toys, as you said, Jonathan. I'm not interested in shiny new toys. I'm not interested in 80 million players and mercenaries. I'm not. I understand that. I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in what's good for Manchester United. Who's going to elevate Man United? That is what it's all about. Who has the passion to elevate Man United? Who wants to become a hero at Man United? Who wants to become that guy who brings Man United back to where they should be? You know what I mean? That's what we need to look at. Absolutely. Big up, Jonathan. How's it going, my friend? Big up, United. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Really good to see you. Good to see you, my friend. Absolutely. Guys, thank you for joining me. Please don't forget to smash a like on the video. And don't forget to put your notifications on as well. I'll be going live later on, of course. So please don't forget to put your notifications on for Chatterbox. And also, please don't forget to smash a like, guys. It's very important for the video. It's been an interesting show. Look, you know what? We get a lot of different opinions. And one thing I like about this community is we have ball knowledge. We have ball knowledge and we don't just have agendas. And that's what I love about it. I've cleared out all the agendas out of the stream. I have. And it's good to have a really good football debate on this show. I have great content coming up. Guys, don't forget, you can become a member. I have great membership material coming on the show very soon as well. So look out for that. I'm working on it now. Of course, as the guy said earlier, beIN Sports and stuff, Sylvester and stuff. There's lots of things coming, my friends. So don't forget, lots of things are going to come on this channel. And I appreciate every single person who supports the channel. I've been supporting the channel for a very, very long time, some of you as well. So really appreciate that, guys. And look, you know what? With Man United, anything can happen. And one thing I would say is that it's going to be exciting in the summer. It's going to be frustrating in the summer. It's going to be a lot of anger in the summer. It's going to be a lot of accusing in the summer. There's going to be a lot of frustration in the summer. We know that. That's going to happen, of course, guys. But one thing for certain, we have to look at things logically and we have to not jump too soon. Let's see what happens. Let's see what they do in the summer. If we would know by the next season when the league starts. Apparently, the league is going to with the transfer window is going to drag out to August the 14th. August the 14th, the league is going to start, guys. It's going to drag out to then. So the transfer window is going to drag out to August the 14th. So that's good. We have time. You know what I mean? But we don't want too time. I would love our players to be through the door for Ruben Amorim's preseason. That would be good because this season we didn't have that, did we? We didn't have that. With Erik ten Hag, we didn't have all the players through the door, did we? For whatever reason. Sal, just realistic, can we be Premier League? We could be Premier League champions in a couple of years if we play our cards right. Trust me, we can. It can happen. Liverpool done it. Liverpool were way in the doldrums a year ago, below us. You know what I mean? So it can happen if we do it right. If we do it right, it can happen and we can become Premier League champions again. I firmly believe Man United will be Premier League champions. Absolutely. I'm not going to say we're not. I believe we should be before 4 or 5 years. I think 3 years max, Man United should be aiming at champions. I don't like buying time business. I don't like this buying time. I know this is a technique for Ineos to buy time, to put a time frame on things. I don't like to put a time frame on things. England did it. 20 years ago when they said we aim to win the World Cup by 2022 in Qatar. They didn't do it, did they? At the end of the day. So I don't like to put time frames off it. I think we're Man United, we should win. If Real Madrid, if Bayern Munich, if Barcelona, if the ownership came in and said we aim to win the league in 4 or 5 years, what would they do? And listen, I know that they're better run than us. It's pretty obvious. But at the end of the day, we're Manchester United. We're supposed to be the English football's gem. We're supposed to be the team of English football, of course. Ruben Amorim is our man for it. Absolutely, United. I would love him to win the league, my friend. I would love him to win the league. Wouldn't that be brilliant? You know what? It would be an amazing achievement if he'd done that. If Ruben Amorim managed to win the league at Manchester United, that guy deserves a statue. If Ruben Amorim wins the Europa League for Man United, given the circumstances and what happened this season, He deserves a statue, absolutely. But obviously, you don't get statues for Europa League. But if he won a league, definitely. He definitely would. And I believe he's the man. He's the personality. We're not going to get anyone better than him, in my opinion. Absolutely not. It's a downgrade from here. Honestly, guys, I think that it's a downgrade for you. I think Ruben Amorim's a fantastic manager, and we have to give Ruben Amorim the time to make this work. I really do. And I believe we will. As a fan base, and I hope you guys will as well. And I hope we won't jump, of course. Beef. So, would you take any relegated players in the summer? Rig? Who's the player? Not Rig. Sorry, not Rig. Who's the player who plays for... Who's the player? If I was to bring a player, all right, to Manchester United, all right, who's been relegated, guys, let me know what you think in regards to that. Let me know what you think. Tyler Dibbling will come to Man United. He's going to get relegated with Southampton, isn't he? Liam Delap. I think you can't go much wrong with those two. I think those two players there, I don't think you can go wrong. Liam Delap and Tyler Dibbling. Absolutely. Are Wolves going to get relegated? Big up, Courts. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Big up yourself. Hope you're good. Are Wolves going to get relegated, Kenny? Do you think? I think they're just about going to survive. I think Leicester, Ipswich, and Southampton will get relegated this season, I believe. Joe Gomez is a good player, yeah, by the way. But I do believe those three teams will get relegated this season, I believe. If they go down, Cunha, yeah, it's got some good. I don't think Wolves will go down. I think Leicester are far worse. I think Ipswich and Southampton are absolutely terrible, absolutely awful, and I think they'll go down. Liam Delap, good player. Tyler Dibbling, good player. Those type of players. Nori, look, there's lots of Wolves. There's good players from Wolves, of course. You know, Cunha hasn't had a great season this season, so he is obviously up in the air. I would take Haaland City. I would take Haaland. I would take from. I would definitely take Haaland. Yeah, from them. Maybe he'd be on the bench for us. We play There was only one Højlund. There's only one Højlund. We got Rasmus Højlund. We could put Haaland on the bench. That's absolutely, we could do that. Looking at Man City, look, guys, he raises a good point, because if Man City got relegated, if we bought a Man City player, which Man City player? Right, we said Haaland, right? What other Man City player would you want right now? Right now, what other Man City player? Look at age, look at performances. What other Man City player would you want right now at Man United? If Man City got relegated to Asabe. Josco, good point. He's been around the block, GK. I don't know about Moiskin. Flopped at Everton. He's been around the block a little bit. I'm not sure about him. Courts, you've said it, mate. Yes, Courts. That is the one player that I would want as well. Rodri. If Rodri comes back the same player, I would want him. If he doesn't, you know what I mean, he might become injury prone, isn't it? But yeah, absolutely. Rodri, Courts has got it spot on there. He's got it absolutely spot on, Courts. LT, what's going on? Big up, Sal. At the moment, the summer window looks bleak, as Barada talked about not spending significant amounts of money on the players. We're looking at free transfer. What I would say, LT, don't take that too seriously. Trust me, we will spend money. That is a technique that business people do to lower expectations. Man United will spend money. We're not going to spend as much as people think, but Man United will spend money. But Man United will make money as well. Man United will sell players as well. At the end of the day, we look in line to make 80 million from the likes of Anthony and Rashford. We look to make 30 million from our league position. Ericsson, Lindelof, you know, Evans are leaving the football club. That saves money on wages. Casemiro could be leaving the football club. Dalot might leave the football club. Shaw might leave football. It depends. We'll have to wait and see, of course. It's not all absolute, of course. Imagine their reaction from City fans if we got Rodri. There will be anger, proper anger. But I would celebrate that signing, because look at Man City with Rodri and look at Man City without Rodri. The difference there is night and day, isn't it, at the end of the day? Rodri is The only player I think, right, that could challenge the Man United midfield in the 90s. Because that player is an absolute animal. There's only a few players out there in the history of football, right, in the history of the Premier League, that I would say he would have improved Manchester United. There's only a few. Only a few. Rodri is pushing it. He's one of those players that I think that he's got it all. He's got it all. Strong, good in the tackle, can score goals. Absolutely. Ericsson, we should keep us back up. No, Charlie, he's too slow, mate. He's finished. Tottenham fans will tell you that 5 years ago. I'll take McAtee, fits our profile. Good player, Baz. Yeah, very good player. Good young player as well. Roger Edson, yeah, we do need that type of player, absolutely. I reckon we'll spend about 200. Courts is on fire today. I said 200 million. Courts is reading my mind. Absolutely, I said that today. We will sell players and we'll spend about 200 million this summer. It isn't all doom and gloom. All this doom and gloom, you know what I mean? Trust me. We're going to be spending money. And people are going to be like, where did we get that money from at the end of the day? Scholes, Roger will be on the bench, United. Scholes all day long. Scholes is the best midfielder in the generation. He's the GOAT, mate. He's better than Lampard. He's better than Gerrard. He's better than any midfielder I've seen in 30 years of watching football. Any midfielder. I don't care what people say. Paul Scholes is the best midfielder in the Premier League era. The best. Iniesta, Zidane, Xavi will tell you that. Scholes was a world-class player. An elite player. Not only world-class, he was an elite player. Absolutely. Guys, I've overrun, but thank you so much for joining me. We're carrying this conversation on later, of course. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and smash a like on the video. You're absolute legends. Really appreciate you. We're nearly on 10,000 subscribers, guys. So let's we've got about 800 to go. Please keep spreading the Stretford Post. Go to other streams everywhere. Have you heard of Stretford Post? Have you heard of Stretford Post? Do that for me. I really, really appreciate every single one of you guys. Have a great day, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. I'm Sal Warner. This is Breaking Dawn. And I'll see you later for Chatterbox. Take it easy, guys. Peace.